What's going on, guys? Yay Cars here. And if you've been keeping up with the car news lately, you've probably seen a bunch of different YouTube channels, car Instagram pages, and car articles talking about Porsche's new electric car, the Porsche Taycan. But for those of you who don't really care about following the car news and all that kind of stuff, about a year ago, Porsche announced that they were going to be making a all-new electric luxury sedan. And they promised that it was going to have refined driving and that it was going to be able to compete with the Tesla Model S 100D. From the initial photos that we saw when Porsche announced it about a year ago, it looked really futuristic, and in terms of a design perspective, it actually looked quite different than what we see in most Porsches nowadays. They also promised that it was going to have a refined driving experience similar to that of a 911. So about a week ago, we got the first real review of the Porsche Taycan, and like every other manufacturer, the pre-production car or production car that they have in the video looks drastically different than what their initial concepts were. And I'll make sure I link the guy's video in the description, but basically the dude goes over and looks at the different things in the Porsche. The first and foremost was that the interior was entirely covered. We couldn't see a single thing on the interior, so I guess we have to wait and see what they have in the inside. And the other thing was that the exterior was still a little bit camouflaged. They still had a bit of, panels covered and stuff like that. Although from the video it's kind of hard to tell, but you kind of have to pause it at specific spots and look. So now, this is the point that you've all been wondering. How fast is a Taycan? Does it do 0 to 60 in 1 second? Does it have a 500,000 mile range? No, it doesn't. I'm just kidding. So in the video that I watched, the guy said he does 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds. Porsche's figures are around 3.5 seconds. But what's interesting to me is that in the guy's video, he has a Vbox. So for those of you who don't know what a Vbox is, it's a really accurate way of telling what your 0 to 60 time is. And what he says in the video is he goes like, hey, that's my 0 to 60 time. And he points at the Vbox and he doesn't say the number. And if I had to guess why, it's probably because Porsche wasn't allowing him because he was in a pre-production car. So it's able to get that 0 to 60 time of under 3 seconds with its 96 kilowatt hour battery pack, and from those batteries it gets around 600 horsepower. They claim it does a 320 mile range, but if you watch my video on electric car range, it's probably not true. And if I had to guess, it's going to be similar to the Model 3 long range, where it's going to be around 230, 240 miles, which is pretty good. I mean, day-to-day driving, you don't really need more than that. I think long road trips, some people make the argument that, I have to charge multiple times, but I think it's important to note that this car also has really fast charging, and it's able to charge as quickly, if not faster, than a Tesla from 20 to 80%. Given this car has 600 horsepower, does 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds, has a really good range, blah, 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 how much does it cost? Well, from what I've read, basically all that they've offered right now are two different models. So they have the base model, which they said is around 75,000 US dollars, and the turbo model, which you've probably seen from all the videos, and has all that crazy performance and range, and that costs $150,000. $150. That's literally double the base model. You can buy two base model Taycans for the price of a turbo model. I'm not even sure why they call it turbo. It's an electric car. Doesn't make sense to me. How manufacturers name their cars is beyond me. But yeah, my point still stands that why do Porsche specifically charge two base models for their top spec model? I don't know how they do it, but realistically, if I had to guess, on average, this car is going to be around $125,000 for something that actually has like heated seats and stuff. I don't know. You'd be surprised how many options Porsche has. What are the Taycan's competitors? I'm going to look at the most important competitor, the Tesla Model S 100D. And I honestly think that the Taycan is going to absolutely blow the water out of the Model S. I think it's just going to kill it. And I don't think people would disagree with this. If you look at the sales of the Model S, they've been plummeting, and that design has been out since 2013. People are tired of it. The Model 3 Performance, all that stuff is selling so well. That's what's keeping Tesla going. But I think the Model S is a dead car, and I'm really excited to see what the refresh was going to have. But I think at the moment, why would anyone buy a Model S 100D over a Taycan? I mean, do you value the ludicrous performance that you can do 1 or 2 times before overheating the battery over the repeatable performance of the Taycan? If that's you, then yeah, then maybe you could buy a Model S. But I think they're close enough in price that making the jump to the Taycan is probably worth it. You get carbon ceramic brakes, you get an upgraded interior. Can't even compare the interior of the two. Porsche and Tesla interiors, just night and day difference, and you get a better driving experience. And the only other things that the Model S would have was, a better infotainment system, which is obviously up to debate if you like a big screen or if you like the buttons. And we still haven't seen the interior of the Taycan, so it's hard to say that. And you like the autopilot, I guess? I don't know. I'm not really a fan of Tesla's autopilot because it doesn't do much. I feel like it kind of bugs me, if anything, because Tesla kind of marketed it as it can drive you, it can do this, but in reality, it can't do anything, and it bugs me on that end. Again, ultimately, it's up to you. It's up to you whether you value the little bit quicker but ludicrous performance over the Taycan's repeatable performance. And if you just like Tesla better, that's perfectly fine too. That's why we have options. Aside from the electric competitors, we have to take a look at the gas-powered competitors, and there's actually quite a bit. So there's the Audi RS7, which is coming up for a refresh really soon. There's the BMW M5, which is really quick. It does 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. And then there's the E63S AMG, which also does it in around 3.1. And then you have the AMG GT 4-door coupe. Again, no idea why Mercedes call it that. I'm pretty sure coupes were always 2 doors, but hey, 4-door coupe, right? When you're deciding between these cars and all these different options, you have to really look at what your needs are and what you like. So for me personally, if I could pick an all-round car that's pretty quick, that is good for commuting, and that's good for daily driving, I would pick an electric car. And initially I was looking at Tesla, but for me, Tesla didn't do it. And now I think with the Taycan, I think I'm happy with that. Obviously I can't afford it now, but if I could have a choice between those cars, I would pick the Taycan. And it's just, you can't really beat that car for dailying, in my opinion. When you're bumper to bumper traffic in a gas car, you're wasting gas, you gotta excel, do all that kind of stuff. But in an electric car, you don't have to have that worry. It's relaxing in a sense. It just depends on your needs. I think if you're looking for a car that does everything, and it does it pretty well, Porsche's silent alternative is the way to go. But I can totally see why some people grumble of gas-powered cars. The BMG bi-turbo sounds absolutely amazing. The M5 sounds pretty good. The RS7, they all have that V8 twin-turbo sound, that grumble that people just absolutely love. And if you like that, then go for it. But in my opinion, and personally, I think I would pick the Taycan over all of these cars, and it's not even close. I think if I had the money, it wouldn't even be a question in my mind because of my needs. So just assess your own needs and see what you prefer, and then just pick a car based on that. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and sorry that I haven't uploaded in a bit. It's just been pretty hectic with school, and I had all these exams. And again, I would really appreciate it if you guys press that like button. Again, it really helps me as I'm starting out. The YouTube algorithm kind of recommends me to other people if you enjoyed this video. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, and looking forward to see you guys in the next video.